The hunting season begins for the Arsenal right now. Hello, hi, welcome back to the channel. It's the Dial Square Football Show. In this channel, it's a segment that me and my friend have been doing for a while. We have done 2 episodes. We've got great response from the viewers. We got great messages from our friends as well, saying that it's been good, it's been really detailed. The only complaint has been that try to make it shorter to make sure that a lot of fans have the attention span to get through the entire video. But apart from that, it's been great love for all the episodes that we've done so far. If you guys are new here, do like, do subscribe, and do switch on the bell icon, because we will be posting whenever there's an Arsenal match in the UCL, in the Premier League this season and future. Inshallah, let's hope FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, and the UCL as well. So yeah, without any other disturbance, let's get into the show, and let me just invite my friend Salman. Yes, hi Salman.
Hi everyone, how are all the Gunners doing today? Um, so it's been a great week of Premier League football. Like Premier League keeps delivering, and personally, it's been great for Arsenal too. So and as usual, let me begin with giving my fact of the day for Arsenal Football Club. So in this series, there are a lot of Arsenal fans, and Arsenal has won a lot in their history. So, and those that history is quite known to a lot of people. So I'm trying to show Arsenal's more what impact they've had in football. So in today's fact is on 16 September 1937, Arsenal was part of the first ever televised football game in the history of football.
Hmm.
It was a match between Arsenal and Arsenal reserves. So yeah, so Arsenal has given this great connectivity and reach to a lot of people nowadays, which is we cannot imagine football without live coverage
Yeah, yeah.
nowadays. So yeah, Arsenal was part of the first ever live coverage of any
Hmm.
match in the history of football.
If you like the fun facts that our co-host Salman is doing, do like, do comments saying, uh, do comments saying whatever you know, a random fact about your own club, or if you are an Arsenal fan, do say a random fun fact about Arsenal as well that you think that we should be incorporating in our next episode. So yeah, we'll keep it fun, we'll keep it engaging, and if you guys keep liking this, we will know that we are more encouraged to do these episodes for you guys. Let's get straight into the match ratings for this match, because honestly, it's been insane. It took me about 1.5 to 2 days to recover that, oh shit, we've actually beat Liverpool. I mean, it took me a day to understand that, oh shit, we beat Liverpool, but it took me another 1.5 day to realize, oh shit, we've absolutely destroyed Liverpool. It's not just beating them. So yeah, we'll start off with our goalkeeper, the goalkeeper that I told that even in the combined 11. In case you guys didn't see that, watch that episode. I've done it with another friend of mine, Jay, also known as Jayant. He's a Liverpool fan, so do check out that episode as well. In that, I've said that the combined goalkeeper, in the combined 11, the goalkeeper needs to be David Raya. Obviously, I was sort of kidding, because Allison has the history and the pedigree because of who he is and where Liverpool is because of Allison. So I was obviously kidding, but after the game, you can completely agree with me saying that David Raya would have been the better choice in the combined 11. Or what do you think, Salman?
Yeah, in many ways you manifested that Allison performance, but uh, but yeah, Raya, he had a good game. I don't think Liverpool was quite threatening in the game. They didn't like really trouble
Hmm.
Raya, to be honest. And even the mistake, it's coming to a player next. But yeah, I put more blame on Saliba rather than Raya on that goal. Yeah, the clean sheet would bump his rating,
Hmm.
but he didn't do anything
Hmm.
wrong, and he kept a cool head even after
Hmm.
conceding. We could have easily lost his head,
Hmm.
cool. And so I felt he had a good game. For me, it's 7. I think Raya had a good 7 out of 10
Agreed.
game.
Oh, also, he almost pre-assisted our first goal. where Saka missed that header. Remember, he grabbed the ball and then he
Yeah, yeah.
then he
He's doing that really
exactly
good now.
threw it off
Like
to
just
Martinelli,
put
and Martinelli insane run against Konate,
Martinelli.
and Saka almost scored. But yeah, you know what? I'll go with the 7.5. I think that's fair, to be honest, from my side. Yeah. Next player.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the mistakes in our backline, or do you just want to stay positive and then we'll talk about the mistake in the end?
Uh, yeah, I guess we can go with Ben White.
Okay.
We both have, said it in the past two episodes that he kinda has to improve a bit. But it was one of his best games of his Arsenal
Hmm.
career, I
True.
would say. Yes, like he was really good, and he just has some of those games once in a while where he's just
Yeah.
on it, and he's just kind of having
Hmm.
fun
Hmm.
with it
Hmm.
rather than it just yeah he has he's he's doing flicks, he's doing
Hmm.
nutmegs, he's doing roulettes in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, so he had a great
Hmm.
game actually. I really enjoyed watching
Agreed.
White, and in such games sometimes that arrogance, it's a light
Hmm.
arrogance he has, kind of
Hmm.
helps
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
in getting up
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
game
Hmm.
as a team. I'd give him a high rating actually for that game. I think he was really good, and even the goal was not his mistake. I think he deserves an 8 for that game. He was really good.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? We won this game, and that goal was not on him at all. Like, he was nowhere near that thing. He shouldn't be near that. So I think I agree with an 8, to be honest. Next, you know what? We'll just go with this. Saliba.
Oh, he's like our one of our favorite
Hmm.
players for all
Hmm.
Arsenal fans. I speak for, uh, but I don't know. This season, I have felt that some mistakes are creeping
Hmm.
in his game, and not mistakes. I feel he's a bit
Hmm.
nonchalant in some of his
Hmm.
decision
Hmm.
making, because in that moment when I understand backing the striker off from
Hmm.
the ball, but in that moment what was required was pure old
Hmm.
center back play, just put it away. And it was a bit of maybe inexperience. We keep forgetting he's just 22, 21.
Exactly.
So he's still so
Hmm.
young.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, he did a mistake. We considered because of it, but overall, still he had a
Hmm.
good game. But I'll bump his rating down to. I gave Raya 7. I don't think he was as good
Hmm.
as Raya
Hmm.
in that
Hmm.
match, but he was not as bad. Also, I'm conflicted, but I'll go with 7 as well, because I think he made the mistake, but he was not. He didn't have any other issues in the game. Like, I think it was just one bad moment, and it was very lucky also the way the
True.
ball
True.
went into the goal. Like, he made a
Hmm.
mistake, but
I
yeah,
I
there
I
was a lot of
think
factors
in
in that.
case it was kind of stopped also, it was a handball from Margalis. I do not know if the VAR would have given it,
Yeah.
because it didn't look like Margalis was trying to go and stop it with his hand. So I mean, these days we don't know.
Hmm.
Was there intention? We'll not know. We don't know how VAR will interpret it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. We'll go with that rating itself. Next one, Magales.
Gabriel, we have already spoken. I think he's overtaken
Hmm.
Saliba this year,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
especially as for me the best defender
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
Arsenal. Because again he was really good
Hmm.
today, like in
Hmm.
that match against
Hmm.
Liverpool. He doesn't. He cut out his mistakes. He was always a good defender, and now he has cut
Hmm.
out his like
Hmm.
mistakes and those brain fade
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
moments. He almost had one with that Nunes foul.
Ha ha
Uh,
ha.
that was that was iffy. The referee could
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
given
Hmm.
that, especially because he gave Konate
Exactly.
one which was
Exactly.
similarly soft.
Exactly. I was kind of
So
surprised that Magalhaes also
um,
didn't get a red card, but you know what? I'll take it. I'm fine. I'm not arguing
yeah,
about it.
but I think he had a good.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would say 7.5 because I feel White was our
Hmm.
best defender. So I don't think he was on White's level. So 7.5 for
True. True.
Magalhaes. Yeah.
This performance, or basically Magalhaes this season, right? It kind of reminded me of what Arsene Wenger told. I don't know the exact wordings that he said about investing in a very young defender, like a 20-year-old or something like that. It's along these lines. Like, you invest in a 20-year-old. Initially, he will cost you points, but that's how you put faith in
He said that about
exactly
youngsters.
youngsters.
He said
You
youngsters will cost you
exactly. Will
points.
cost you points
Yeah.
initially, but like within like 2 or 3 4 seasons, you'll probably have the best defender or something along those lines. I
Yeah,
think when Mugglers came to us, he was about like 22, 23. Now he's almost 26. You can sort of
yeah,
seeing you sort of seeing the maturity, the prime Muggle is, or um, all
yeah.
those well, what to say, um, all that faith kept in him, trying to like. I think we're reaping the our rewards for that. It's
Mm.
probably one of the best signings that Arteta had done or Arsenal have done with him.
And he's mad cheap too.
Exactly.
Like
Hmm.
what he was like 20
And he
million or
was supposed
something.
to go to
I think
Everton.
so.
Can you remember? Can
Yeah,
you believe that he was supposed to go to Everton, and we swooped in and took him out, took him from there. So that's it's an insane bite to think
yeah.
about it. But yeah, he's been insane this season. He got, I think, nominated for the Premier League
The
Player
the funnier thing,
of the month as
the
well, right?
funnier
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is
The funny thing.
the funnier
Hmm.
thing is we signed 19-year-old Saliba for 35
Ha
million.
ha.
And when he was 19 or 18 from Saint Etienne, and we signed 23-year-old Michaelis for
Hmm.
20
Hmm.
million.
Hmm.
So yeah, very, very economical buy, but sometimes those players turn out to be your best players.
True. True.
So
I mean,
that's great.
you tend to like cherish a lot more of the cheap buys that pay you in high dividends, right? Like for Liverpool, Matip, probably the best free transfer ever. Like, who would have thought he would have been this
Yeah,
instrumental for Liverpool's defense or the entire team? So yeah, you always kind of cherish the cheap buys or the bargain buys, and you see them give you high rewards. So yeah,
yeah.
it happens. But yeah, I agree. Gabriel hadn't had a game like Ben White, but a 7.5 seems to be fair.
No.
Zinchenko.
Weird. I don't. I think he had a good first half, and then I
Hmm.
don't know. Arteta saw
Hmm.
something and kind of pivoted away. I personally feel he knew Nunes was coming on soon, and Nunes was going to trouble Zini
Hmm.
from that side.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
felt because Zini, Nunes pace and the
Hmm.
nuisance he is like. It's. I feel Zini was a mistake. It
Hmm.
was coming.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
felt from Zini if he stayed for
Hmm.
too long. So I liked that Arteta took
Hmm.
that decision, and he basically had a big part in creating the
True.
first goal
True. True.
from that
True.
pass to
True.
Odegaard. So, but just he got substituted in 45, so you cannot go very
Hmm.
high
Hmm.
rating. So I'll stick with
Yeah,
seven. I'll
seven
stick with
seems to be
seven
fair.
because
Yeah,
I don't
I was
know
kind of
much
surprised
about
because
that.
the thing is that the reports have come out saying that Zinchenko had a knock before the game or during the game. That's why to keep him continuing against this intense Liverpool might cost him the game later on. So that's why they substituted. But to be very honest, that first half he was really good. The entire team was really good. Like you could see that. Like honestly, I was in awe. Like the passing, the way that we were like creating spaces between two Liverpool players, like pulling Liverpool players out of their position, creating space there. I was like, where has
Yeah,
this been? Like honestly, what?
no, it's always gone down to that notion I've
Hmm.
said you. If teams come to
Hmm.
play with against us, we'll always
Agreed.
be there. But if you
Hmm.
sit back, you will, we are, any team would, but we struggle a lot more to break
Makes
down.
sense, makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zinchenko in the first was really good.
Mm.
He was kind of important in the way we created the first goal as well. Like he pulled defenders out of his position, then got back to his position, made a very important pass to Odegaard instead of passing it to Martinelli on the wing. I
Yeah.
was like, why did he pass it to Odegaard? But kind of made sense. I didn't see that Havertz run before. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a fan. I mean, there's a reason I'm a fan, and he's the player for Arsenal and for Ukraine. So it kind of makes sense. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. He had a good first half, but that is it. Nothing beyond that. Like he was substituted off. So a seven seems fair. The best part of our entire Arsenal team that performed against Liverpool, the midfield. You know what? We'll go with Rice. How do you think Rice performed?
Yeah. So these are the kind of games we bought
Hmm.
Rice for. Like he was
Hmm.
brilliant. So today in that today I say, but
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean the match
Hmm.
against Liverpool, we saw what Rice can actually do when we are on the
Hmm.
front
Hmm.
foot, which I
Hmm.
really liked. Like again, we did not use him much as a creator or doing something extraordinary in terms of
Hmm.
creating, but what we wanted to do was pin Liverpool all the time
Hmm.
in their half or put the
Hmm.
pressure on, and Rice winning those
Hmm.
balls quickly and breaking up
Hmm.
attacks. That was really helpful, and Liverpool could not get any cohesion
True.
because of Rice and how we
Hmm.
defended. Like they were like the defense were pushing up and Rice was there to protect them in case and winning
Hmm.
those balls.
Hmm.
Brilliant. I think Rice had a
Hmm.
great game. Like honestly, I think he was very influential. I would go along the lines of Ben White. I would say Rice had an 8 out
8
of
out of 10. Agreed,
10.
agreed. I mean, it kind of
Yeah, yeah,
shows like when you have another center mid who's supporting you when you're playing the lone six position, it shows your qualities. Like Rice always had the qualities, but he didn't have a partner in crime to make sure that his quality brought out his game. I agree with the Declan Rice
yeah,
rating of 8, but my favorite player and probably my man of the match, and I think even Arsenal fans have agreed on Twitter as well, is Jorginho. Because Jorginho, I will say this. I kind of hope Jorginho played against Liverpool. I've said this even before the game even started. I don't know if you remember, but I remember before the game started, we had a
yeah,
group chat and I said, I wish the midfield uh, is like Declan Rice, Jorginho, and with Odegaard playing much near the attack of things and not coming more defensively, and it worked out. It worked out. Like you need Jorginho kind of players uh, against teams like Liverpool because you know they're going to press, they're going to try and be physical, and they're going to get the ball as much as possible. But you need players like Jorginho who can hold the ball, keep it ticking, at the same time break lines while going into transition. So that's why, kind of going off topic, when we were planning for the transfer market this winter, I've always said that I hope we brought in a midfielder for Declan Rice. Striking and all of that, I guess other players can take care. It's fine. It's all a matter of time before goals come in. But that midfield was always important because that's where I feel majority of the time we lose the game or win the game. So against City as well, our midfield was important. We had who started our midfield? Jorginho and Rice. Who started our midfield here?
yeah.
Jorginho and Rice. Exactly. So I wouldn't say I was the happiest when Jorginho came last winter, but I can happily say that I was the first one who hoped Jorginho started in that lineup against Liverpool. So yeah, if you said Rice was an 8, I kind of agree with you. My man of the match, so I would go with 8.5 or 8.75 for Jorginho. Oh, what's yours?
Yeah, I think I'll have to agree with the man of the match being
Hmm.
Jorginho, because uh, not like his
Hmm.
play was good and it was he was nice. He didn't do anything extraordinary. Like
Hmm.
he was good, like he
Hmm.
was fine. But the what he
Hmm.
gave to the team in
Hmm.
that match, what we needed, that was more instrumental. You say along the lines that we need a midfielder and we had
Hmm.
Jorginho, but that's why when we there are a lot of links for Arsenal with Zubimendi, it kind of
Hmm. Hmm.
excites me because he's that kind of
Exactly.
midfielder like
True. True.
Jorginho who can do this kind of things, and he's still
Hmm.
young and he can
Hmm.
still
Hmm.
grow. So yeah, Jorginho, there are some footballers like you need to really have an understanding of
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
game to really appreciate. Like there was a time 3 years ago, I think Jorginho was won UEFA Player of the Year, if
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
he
wrong.
was ranked number two
And
or number three in the FIFA ranking as well, right? If I'm not wrong.
in I think in Ballon d'Or he came
Hmm. Hmm.
third,
Hmm.
and I think he won Player of the Year in UEFA, and he won the Champions League with
Hmm.
Chelsea.
Hmm.
Okay, uh, and I remember most of the discussion that time was how has football dropped off so much that a player like
Hmm.
Jorginho
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
coming third. But it's not about player because they're not understanding what Jorginho
Hmm.
does
Hmm.
well and how good
Hmm.
he is. Like he's not the most gifted physically. He's not
Hmm.
fast. He's not
Hmm.
physical. Um, he has the odd mistake
Hmm.
sometimes, but his game IQ is on another
True.
level. Like he can understand the game. That one pass he did for Martinelli in
Oh,
that game, which should have been
I don't
scored,
know
but
how he missed it, but
that
yeah,
pass was
yeah.
so brilliant. But just under his understanding
Hmm.
of game
Hmm. Hmm.
tempo and game and positioning, it's like very very
True.
good. Really high level of play
True.
from
True.
him. So yeah, I agree with
Hmm.
8.5 to 8.75 for Georgina, and he is the man of the match. There's no doubt
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
it for me.
And I guess it takes a player to go to a bigger club for wider audience to understand the kind of player you are, right? Yeah. In case the audience didn't understand, I meant Arsenal has a bigger club than any other London club out there. In spite of the $1 billion that you spent, and never mind. Yeah. The next midfielder that we've been raving about to be playing higher up the game, higher up in the position is Odegaard. We will start off with you. How did you feel about the Odegaard's performance?
Yeah, so I was reading a stat recently that Odegaard has the highest number of
Hmm.
chances
Hmm.
created in Europe for top five leagues this season, but he has three assists. So that just shows you how bad we have been in front of
Oh.
goal, and how we are not complimenting uh,
Hmm.
his playmaking skills
Hmm.
and
Hmm. Hmm.
abilities. It's the same thing. I've always said it. It's the same thing that's happened with Ozil and Arsenal. Ozil used to always be at the top of the created chances and everything, but there was no end product because there was no end product. Someone to finish the end
True.
product, like to
Hmm. Hmm.
finish.
Hmm.
Before back then it was Giroud. Now, like now we have a
Hmm.
better player in
Hmm.
Jesus, but he's similar
Hmm.
profiligacy. And Havertz again, we'll come to
Hmm.
him, but same really good movement and in front of goal
Hmm.
something happens
Agree.
at him.
Yeah.
So, but Odegaard, yeah, we can see. I think it's a difficult one, but I think this was probably the best start, our best
Hmm. Hmm.
starting 11.
Hmm.
I would say, like, I would say, okay, maybe Jorginho Partey can come in because Partey also does really
Hmm.
good things, in that number six
Hmm.
position. Uh, he and Rice could also be really good, but I think Havertz up top because Jesus and Havertz are not really good
Hmm.
finishers, and but then Havertz's
Hmm.
size, his movement, and his the way he can get
Hmm.
into the center back's skin under
Hmm.
their skin, I think that makes him a bit more viable option. I think
Hmm.
up top, and his movement is world class. So I will come to that later, anyways. But yeah, I think Odegaard was really good, and I would say
10
eight
out
out
of
of
10.
10 for him also along the
Hmm. Hmm.
lines of
Hmm.
Rice.
I've done this episode with my friend Jay, right? He said, "Oh, Odegaard is the kind of player who goes big games." I sort of agree with him because, to be honest, when you played against Liverpool last season and all of that, he did have a good first half. At the Emirates, remember last season where we scored in the first one in the first minute. But then after that, I don't quite remember where he had a good game. But then again, this season, when we played in the Community Shield, he was really good against City. This
No, he was really good. He was really good at NLD away to Spurs. He was very good in that.
Huh, like I'm talking about
Odegaard.
this season. Like it's like nice to see how Odegaard is beating
Okay,
all
okay,
these
okay, okay.
allegations that oh he goes big games and all of that, and then to him
Yeah,
completely destroy Liverpool like at Emirates against Klopp, and then all those photos that have come out with him with the photographer being a proper Arsenal fan there and then an Arsenal player, completely rattling the entire media, the fan base. Are it was absolutely a joy to watch him and to call him an Arsenal captain. I couldn't be more proud of it and I couldn't be more happier about it.
exactly. I've always
Hmm.
said this. I said in the last
Hmm.
two episodes. Just for his
Hmm.
presence, for me he's like the first name on the
Hmm.
name
Hmm.
sheet, on the
Hmm.
team
Hmm.
sheet. Like if your captain and your playmaker can run as much
Hmm.
as he does and can track back and defend as much as
Hmm.
he does, that's automatically like it's enough. Like I don't think that other than that, whatever he does is like a cherry on top of the cake. Like
True.
he's for a captain to be that committed
Hmm.
to the team. That's like you need to be proud of him as
Hmm.
a captain.
True. True.
You know?
I completely agree, and yeah, I would agree with your ratings as well. Next, let's go to our front three. Who do you want to go with first?
Yeah, I think we'll start with Martinelli because he was on
Hmm.
fire
Hmm. Hmm.
yesterday. Uh, wow, like just Martinelli is such a fun player to watch. Like when he's
Like
on
he
it,
said, like he said it in
he,
Liverpool. Me personally against Liverpool, I always have a good game, and my God, he had a brilliant game. And to see him pissed off when he was coming off the pitch as well, like was like the passion that he wanted from a player. That oh shit, I had a great game. I don't want to get it, but yeah, we'll come to that point. Yeah, continue. Sorry for breaking you in between.
No, yeah. No, just he has his hot and cold, and his hot and cold moment is so predictable now. He
Hmm.
starts well, then he has a bad
Hmm.
November, December, and then he'll get benched, and then he'll
Hmm.
come back
Hmm.
hot again. Yeah, but honestly, when he's
Hmm.
on fire, like it's so difficult to stop him. I'm so happy he's in our team because if he was in a opposition team and
Hmm.
he would come at
Hmm.
you like that,
Hmm.
like he's just so relentless pace. He's like, there's when you're young or when you are playing a
Hmm.
game, when you are like making a career
Hmm.
mode
Hmm.
player,
Hmm.
suppose in FIFA, he's like the kind of player you will make like fast. He's
Hmm.
tall. Uh, he's having
Hmm.
strength. He's good in passing, good in
Hmm.
shooting. Like he's the complete package, but he needs to be on it and he needs to be more
True.
consistent. That's the part he needs
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
unlock
Hmm.
now. But he has all the tools, and there's a reason why Klopp said he's a talent of the
True.
century. It's not Klopp doesn't just say
Hmm.
it just like
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
mind games or anything. He's a great player, and he cooked Trent. Like honestly, Trent was on the
Hmm. Hmm.
ropes against him, and I know Trent has not been 100%, and he's been a bit uh, injury prone recently,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think Martinelli had a great game, and yeah, again, it was a very good game for every whole team. So 8 out of 10 for Martinelli also. He
You
was
know what
really
was
good.
my
Yeah,
favorite part of the game? Like till the game at Anfield, right? I always said that Martinelli against Konate was almost like a 50-50. Sometimes Martinelli would get the better of Konate, sometimes Konate would get the better of Martinelli. But this game, I felt Martinelli got the better of Konate most of the game than just 50-50s. I felt
yeah,
he got more out of it than he was able to beat Konate more often than what he did at Anfield. So that's why, yeah, that's what kind of excited me. Like he saw that Konate was able to mark him off, and so to see him improve within that small
mm.
amount of time and then beat Konate, it was genuinely nice. I think if Soboslai was available for Liverpool, it would have been a different story. I'm not going to completely say that Konate is the mistake, but you know when you see for a player versus player, I felt I was genuinely proud of the way Martinelli played against Konate. So yeah, I agree with you. It's an 8 out of 10 for me.
yeah. That
Hmm.
front three, like as I said, Jesus might be the better player than
Hmm.
Havertz, but the uh, like the menacing physicality they had, those that
Hmm.
front three, they were like for a long time. After a long time, I've seen an Arsenal front line
Ah, yeah.
bully the
True.
defense of the
True.
other team.
Hmm.
That was the thing. They were like bullying
Hmm.
Liverpool into submission,
True.
basically.
True.
Yeah. Especially the second goal is pure Martinelli just causing
Uh-huh.
panic in Van
Exactly.
Dijk and
Exactly.
Alisson. Like it's not. Yeah, Alisson
Hmm.
made a mistake, but why did he make the mistake? The mistake was because he thought Martinelli
Hmm.
would
Hmm.
get the ball, or he thought Van Dijk
Hmm.
will not get the ball. So yeah. So I guess next player is Havertz would
I,
be
I
the
will let you
striker.
start with it because he's your signing that you wanted for a while. You know what? You go ahead. You
uh,
deserve this.
he doesn't do anything to stop the polarizing opinions. Like I was like I saw the match and I was so happy the way he played. And then I go to I type in Arsenal Liverpool in Safari, so you get to see some of those tweets,
Hmm.
right? And half the tweets are all about why is Havertz so bad? Why is Havertz not good? Uh, Piers Morgan is saying that why are you subbing Martinelli keep on Havertz when he's the worst player on the pitch? So like because from what I saw, I thought Havertz had a
Hmm.
brilliant game.
Hmm.
To be
Hmm. Hmm.
honest, I I feel that I understand he's not a great goal scorer. I
Yet,
agree with it.
yet,
I am not
yet.
going to
I'm not
deny
going
that.
to completely agree
Yet,
with you as well.
okay,
Yet.
yeah,
Hmm.
obviously. Yet, and yeah, I agree that he has clinicality issues. He's languid. I understand he's having that nonchalant. That I'm not going to criticize, and I don't think anyone should. That's him as a person, and that's his body language. But yeah, he is not clinical
Hmm.
as a striker or as a attacking player. I
True.
agree. But what he did in that match, not many players in our club
True.
can do. To
True.
be honest, he had Van Dijk and Konate on the ropes all game. He was
Hmm.
harassing them. He the two yellow cards Konate got were directly the consequence of Havertz being a
True.
nuisance to him. His movement for the first goal was brilliant, like the deep run when Odegaard
Hmm.
collects the
Hmm.
ball,
Hmm.
brilliant. Um, then his finishing was
Hmm.
bad, yes, I agree. But other than that chance, he didn't have any other big chance
True.
to finish,
True.
also, to be
True.
honest. Um, I would criticize him a bit for that moment when he went to with
Hmm.
McAllister one
Hmm.
on one
Hmm.
and he kind of
Hmm.
fell off. I think he could have done
Hmm.
better there because McAllister he could have easily overpowered
Hmm.
McAllister. Um, but other than that, he was brilliant for me, and I'm not
Hmm.
going to pay heed to the people who want to criticize just for the sake
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
criticizing Havertz. It's like Havertz means if he does something wrong, he's the
Hmm.
worst player we
Hmm.
ever signed. So it's
Hmm.
same thing. So I feel it's too reactionary. Um, it's too negative for
Hmm.
some reason with
Hmm.
Havertz. Some Arsenal fans are not able to digest the fact that he's an Arsenal
Hmm.
player now. So yeah, I feel he had a great game. He had the because and I feel it's along the lines
Hmm.
of Martinelli. I would give him an eight
Yeah.
also because he
Hmm.
was really good.
For me,
Yeah.
this is without any, euphoria that, oh shit, we've destroyed Liverpool. For me, I'll be very honest. Had Havertz had an output in terms of an assist or a goal in that game, he was my second to the man of the match. Like if I gave Jorginho 8.5, I would have given this guy 8.5 as well. Like I would have given I gave Jorginho 8.5 because he did what he's expected of, and he didn't disappoint anyway. Havertz, some would agree that yeah, you would expect Havertz to miss a chance. I'll be very honest. The chance that he missed was very similar to the one that he scored in the UCL final. If you don't remember, like that he took it with
Yeah,
his
yeah.
with his left foot. This one he took it with his right foot. That could only be the difference that I saw, and also like you said, that red card to Konate was because of Havertz. He was probably a menace to the entire backline of Liverpool. Like I said, if he had like an assist or a goal, I would give him an 8.5, or I would have been probably even more elated to see him do something great against Liverpool. I would give him a 9 as well. But since he didn't have any of that, but still created chaos for the entire Liverpool team and getting Konate the red card, I would agree with an 8. It was very close for being the man of the match for me. Like he was that good. Like people who don't see this are probably still in that mindset that oh shit, we've signed Chelsea Havertz. I was in that mindset for a very
Yeah.
long time, like not long time, you could say for the first 3-4 game weeks. Then I started seeing what Havertz brings into this team and what Arteta is trying to bring out of him. If you're like me in the start, I agree, but if you're still like that even now, I guess that's an issue with you than Havertz being an Arsenal player. So yeah. Next,
Yeah.
Saka. Yeah,
And
yeah, you're saying.
no, just one
Hmm.
last point before we go
Hmm.
to Saka. You know, people criticize his language style, but they don't see how menacing he's on the
Yeah.
pitch. I can count 2, 3
Hmm.
games on this
Hmm.
season
Hmm.
already where he was a pure like they say
Hmm.
shit
Hmm.
house on the pitch. He was just trying to get under the
Hmm.
skin of
Hmm.
people like. And now even with his baldy
Hmm.
hairstyle, he's more like a gangster on the
True.
pitch. Like
True.
so
True.
he he should have got a yellow. He fouled Van
He
Dijk, and he acted as if he was the one
he
getting fouled.
got. I think he got a
Yeah,
yellow for some other
the
reason, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah he got a yellow for time
Mm-hmm.
wasting. But oh no, he for pushing
Oh yeah, pushing the referee.
the side.
Also, I personally feel he was pushed
Yeah,
onto the referee than him pushing the referee by himself. But you know what, fuck it,
yeah.
it's fine.
But I I don't like to see simulation and all. But sometimes when it happens when your team is winning, it's kind of
Agree.
fun to see. Like Havertz, Van Dijk jumps,
Hmm.
Havertz pushes him, and he's acting on the floor as if he got injured. Like I never knew that he had a menacing side like that. I never saw it at
True. True.
Chelsea.
True.
Yeah.
True. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So now moving on
Saka.
to Saka. Um, this is what Saka
Hmm.
is like. We always say that there were so many talks about a lot of Arsenal
Hmm.
fans saying drop Saka, maybe bring
Hmm.
ESR, bring
Hmm.
someone else, maybe start Jesus out
Hmm.
wide. But this is what
Hmm.
Saka does. Again, he had a good game, but I wouldn't say it was anything
Hmm.
special. Like I don't think he did something which would be like, wow, wow, Saka, what great. But he's the one who will score in
Hmm.
these games. Like his record against in big games is
Hmm.
really good. Like, and that is what this Arsenal team in Arteta's
Hmm.
vision, that is the difference from the previous
Hmm.
Arsenal teams since Emirates was built,
Hmm.
I would say. Like this Arsenal team has a lot of big game players. Like they can come in the big game and they can
Hmm.
play good. I would say especially the youngsters like
Hmm.
Martinelli,
Hmm.
Saka,
Hmm.
Saliba. These are they come in the big games and they want to play. They want to show their
Hmm.
talent. Rice has been really good in
Hmm.
our big
Hmm.
games till now. So so yeah, Saka. I don't think he had a better game than Martinelli, to
Hmm.
be honest. Uh, and so I'm going to go between 7.5 and 8, 7.75 for
Agreed,
Saka.
agreed. You
Yeah,
covered literally all the points that I wanted to say
yeah,
about him, to be honest. The exciting part of this starting lineup is the subs, to be honest, because there's one sub that I
yeah,
want to talk about. I mean, actually two. One, because I didn't want him to come on that early. Second, I'm really, really glad he had an insane game. We'll talk about the first one. That is Trossard. When Martinelli came off, I was like,
yeah,
no way Arteta brought him off already. We still have to score one more goal to get a comfort goal. And next thing, I think within like 7 to 8 minutes of me saying that, you had Trossard having that brilliant run on the left, getting rid of Elliot and Diaz, running into the attack, making sure that there's somebody in the box, but unfortunately there's no one, and then he takes a left foot shot. It was a deflection through Allison's leg. I mean, from Van Dijk to through Allison's leg. But that run was insane. I didn't know that Trossard could still run like that fast. Like honestly, I was like, nah, this guy doesn't have the pace to like run this much. But I guess their backline was also tired, and it kind of helped with the red card as well with Konate. So yeah, Trossard for me, with that goal and killing it off, I would give him a 7.5.
yeah. I agree. That was the exact number in
Hmm.
my head. Like Trossard is unbelievably
Hmm.
good actually. Like I have been critical of him
Hmm.
this season. You
Hmm.
know it. Like I've been ultra critical actually because I thought uh, last season he was really good and I don't know for
Hmm.
some reason he couldn't like kick
Hmm.
on from that. He had his chances. A lot of people had his false narrative in
Hmm.
my opinion that he was not given
Hmm.
chances. But if you see the stats, he played a lot
Hmm.
of minutes. So he was not as good as he was last season when we signed him. But that moment when he
Hmm.
scored against Crystal Palace, I knew this guy is
Hmm.
back. And I remember you are happy that you told Jorginho
Hmm.
to start. I know Trossard didn't
Hmm.
start, but I was baying
Hmm.
for him to
Hmm.
start because I know that he's
Hmm.
clinical, and in these games you need someone who can
Hmm.
take the chance, and he has a brilliant record against
True, true.
Liverpool.
He scored a
So
hat trick at Anfield last
so
season,
I
right?
was like,
Before he got transferred to Arsenal. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so, people say that those stats really don't matter, but sometimes you have those games,
Hmm.
some teams where you always kind
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
pop up, or you're like in cricket, there's a term called a
Hmm.
bunny. Like there's a bowler who's a bunny of
Hmm.
bats. Like so, he always takes
Hmm.
his
Hmm.
wicket. So it's similar. I feel in football also there are some teams like Martinelli and Trossard, both always perform
Liverpool.
against
True.
Liverpool. So so yeah, wanted Trossard
Hmm.
to start, and I think Arteta timed the perfection that substitution
Hmm.
perfectly because I think Martinelli was going to drop off eventually in that the way he
Hmm.
was playing. He was like
Yeah.
on it like
Hmm.
100%
Hmm.
whole
Hmm.
game. So then Trossard came in, got that calmness, and he finished in the most crucial moment of that game
Hmm.
actually. So yeah, Trossard 7.5. And I know the next player you're going to go is to obviously the sub from left back. So Kivior, uh, I think Kivior, there has been a lot of talk about
Hmm.
loaning him or maybe he's not
Hmm.
good enough for us. But he's a center back who plays occasionally CDM and now he's playing
Hmm.
left back. So we have to take that into
Hmm.
consideration. We can't be like, okay, this guy is not good enough because he's not playing in his
Hmm.
natural
Hmm.
position or maybe his best
Hmm.
position. But he had a really good game. Like
Hmm.
I, I, I actually seem to notice that he has
Hmm.
good games, at home, and he kind of struggles with the intensity away. Because if you see his worst games this season, he started
Hmm.
at Luton. He was
Hmm.
not good
Hmm.
at Luton. I think he came on at Fulham, but I think,
Hmm.
or he started at
Yeah, one
Fulham,
of these two.
and
Hmm.
I think he was not
Hmm.
good at Fulham. Yeah. So, and if you see some of his best games this season, I think in Champions League he played
Hmm.
at home, and then he played this game at home, and even in Champions League when he played at PSV away, he was getting
Hmm.
troubled. So I feel he likes that
Hmm.
stability at home, and I think that helps him as a young player who's up and coming. So yeah, I really liked him, and I give him a 7.25.
Hmm.
Like, I think he was good, and he should have scored, but
Yeah.
I won't. It's not his natural position, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seven point
Mm-hmm.
two five.
Seeing
Yeah,
Kivior in that scoring position was almost similar to seeing Tomiyasu against City. Remember, I was like, why is Tomiyasu up there, like as a centre forward? Then did you even
yeah.
clock that Kivior was there in that position? I didn't even realize Kivior was in that position until like he missed that header.
The miss
Until he
happened.
missed,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was genuinely like, what? How did this guy end up there? But yeah, uh, I wouldn't completely
Yeah.
agree with the fact that he's better only at home. I think if you play Kivior to his strengths, he's a great player. Like you expect him to invert into the midfield and create those things like how Timber or like Zinchenko or to some cases even Tomiyasu can. I don't think it will work out. But you play him as a solid left-footed centre back as a or that on the left side or on the as an LCB. I think he will have a game because last season when we played against Chelsea, if I'm not wrong, Chelsea. I don't remember which game, but when he had that initial few games coming off the bench and then again and starting in the end of last season when Saliba was injured, I felt he had a decent game when he played in the natural position. The moment you ask him to come and invert into the midfield, I felt that's where he starts to struggle. Or maybe that's not a strong suit, or he needs time to develop in that position. I do not know.
But that's the
Hmm.
funny thing, because for Udinese, his
Hmm.
previous club, he played a lot as center defensive
Ex-
midfield.
uh, hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it was one of his in his
Hmm.
scouting reports
Hmm.
or whatever. It was one of his strong
See,
points. Like, he's a
playing in
player who
that
can,
position is different.
maybe not
Exactly,
inverted.
exactly. Like
Yeah,
you inverting is complete two
yeah,
different things. You need to do two things. One is going
yeah,
do
yeah.
something in midfield
Obviously,
and then again go
yeah.
in defense. So, yeah. I you know what I'll say 7.5 and not a 7.25. 7.5 for me. Had he scored that, I would have put him in 8 or 8 or something. But yeah. Our last substitution, Reese.
Yeah, it was a sensible
Hmm.
substitution. He
Hmm.
didn't do anything great, but because what we needed in that moment was space
Hmm.
behind, and Reese has space. We all
Hmm.
know
Hmm.
that. So yeah, but he didn't do anything. I don't think he did anything of
Hmm.
note. To be not that I remember. Maybe if I'm wrong, you can correct me.
Hmm.
But I'd say 6.5 for Reese. Like, he did
I
his
still
job.
feel he was a 7
Yeah,
because when Saka was limped off, or was taken off, uh, you had
hmm.
Reese doing the dirty work. Like he didn't only try and like score or something, but he was like he's trying to kill. He's trying to kill off the game by going into the corner flags or like still like he was able to maintain the pace. So in that game against Liverpool, um, I still feel what he did was sort of important, though it was not visibly uh, like evident for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So that's why I feel a 7 would be
I
fair
agree.
because like when Saka
Hmm.
was taken off, Liverpool could have probably come in and tried to take advantage of that set because you literally had just Ben White defending that set. So with what Reece had done, try to kill off the game, try to like keep the ball, keep ticking in with the same tempo that the team has done. I feel he deserves a 7, especially because it was Liverpool.
Okay. Yeah, I would
Hmm.
agree.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's our starting lineup, and that is our substitutions that we've rated. What did you think about the game? Like, try to summarize it in a few words, if you can.
Elation would be the
Hmm,
first word
hmm,
that came
hmm,
to my mind. Um, when the kickoff happened, first few minutes, I kind of knew that maybe we are going to win
hmm,
this match. The way we
hmm,
started, you, with Arsenal, I don't know if this is me or is every Arsenal fans feels this or every other football club fans feel
Hmm.
this, but especially with
Hmm.
our club, the in the first few moments maybe we can decide Arsenal game. I feel like the way we
Hmm.
start and the way we I feel that we like very few games. There are some games where we have come back this season and
Hmm.
all those things, but even in those games, I feel we were the better team, but we eventually had to
Hmm.
come
Hmm.
back somehow. But there, if you see the games we lost, the games
Hmm.
we drew, all those games we
Hmm.
started very bad, and we started with low tempo, low
Hmm.
intensity. Spurs draw,
Hmm.
Fulham. I
Hmm.
would say Luton. We won
Hmm.
eventually, but when you see the Arsenal's first
Hmm.
5 minutes, I can judge personally if Arsenal is going to win
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
match or
Hmm.
not. And when I saw that first 5 minutes in
Hmm.
Liverpool, I could just feel everyone in Arsenal was up
Hmm.
for it, and I was like, yeah, we are winning this match, and yeah, elated, happy, and uh, I would say it has changed the outlook of
Hmm.
our season. Now it's a bit more
Hmm.
optimistic. Yeah, maybe one or two results. 9 March big game is coming. Liverpool is hosting City
Hmm.
at Anfield. Maybe they draw
Hmm.
there. Both of
Hmm.
them draw. Maybe Liverpool
Hmm.
beat City. It- It's. I think the season's getting
Hmm.
started now for us,
True.
especially.
True. The
Yeah,
hunting
we.
season begins
I
now.
think we can kick on. Yeah. Now, last year we were the hunted. This year we are the
Hmm. Hmm.
hunters.
Hmm.
So I hope it's going to be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
What about you?
My personal opinion.
I mean, I saw your crazy reactions on the stream, but what is your sane reactions? Maybe.
I enjoyed, like, I felt I was at home back in Qatar with my family. Like, many people have accused me saying that, oh, it's all fake reactions and all of that. But you can genuinely ask my mom and my dad. Like, genuinely, like, when there's an Arsenal game against the big teams, my parents are always inside.
I've watched several games with
Yeah,
you, and I know these are your normal
exactly.
reactions.
Like,
We have jumped, we have screamed in hostel
yeah,
rooms.
exactly.
Yeah, so
Uh,
we have
r-
been
I remember like
upload.
throwing the
Yeah,
chair onto something because the moment we scored and all that. So yeah, it was like, yeah, I might be sort of calm and everything in like general. I'm not going to say I am, but that's what the general the perspective is. But when it comes to such moments, I guess all the frustrations in my life or all the happiness in my life just rushes in that one moment and just enjoys. But yeah,
yeah,
about the game, I couldn't be more happier, dude. Like the bragging rights I have for the entire season. Then you have Klopp leaving. We've stopped Klopp, dude. I wanted us to be the party poopers, and we became the party poopers in great style. Like we have completely dominated them in terms of possession. We didn't get them any chance. We scored the goal that they wanted. So yeah, that meme you had us in the first half. I guess that's what happened with Liverpool when we
yeah,
gave
yeah.
them that chance of the own goal. We thought that they were back, but nobody's. We've destroyed you. So yeah, I genuinely enjoyed myself. The stream was absolutely amazing. Like I'm sure you saw what happened. So yeah. I want to discuss a thing or two depending on time that we have, which is our next part of this segment that is talking about unpopular opinions. I have three things in my mind, but let's talk about the most relevant point for now, which is: do you think Arsenal are are hated when they celebrate, or do you think they're fairly what do you say, are fairly judged in the way that they celebrate, and like fairly judged as in like the media is correct on the way that they're judging when we over celebrate and all of that. Like, what's your opinion about?
Yeah. So personally, I think you have known my opinion on
Hmm.
this a bit, but yeah, I also felt that not because I felt we over
Hmm.
celebrated, but I think it would have been cooler in a way that we just took it as a business thing and like, yeah, business done, we are off the pitch. Like that would be,
Hmm.
I feel, as a message. Like imagine you send
Hmm.
that message to your
Hmm.
rivals
Hmm.
that, hey, we are happy we won, but our focus is
Hmm.
end game
Hmm.
Premier
Hmm.
League.
Hmm.
I think that would be a message to send to
Hmm.
your rivals. But see, this team and this manager plays with their hearts
Hmm.
on their sleeve. Like they play
Hmm.
emotionally. They want to give the moments to the
Hmm.
fans, and there is still that process. They say trust the process. The process of
Hmm.
reconnecting with the fans is
Hmm.
still going on. Like it's not done
Hmm.
completely. So I think you know, at home, and it was a
Hmm.
big game. Like people are really underplaying how
Hmm.
big
Hmm.
this game was. Before the game's entire coverage was about if Liverpool win, they're 8 points clear, Arsenal is out of
Exactly.
the title
Exactly.
race. And then as soon as we win, it's
Hmm. Hmm.
downplayed. Okay, the game's not
Hmm.
big enough. It was just a win. You're back in the
Hmm.
title.
Hmm.
So yeah, so you can't think you should play both the sides. Like play one side. If you feel the big game is big enough, then I don't think it's justified. The criticism is justified over
Hmm.
celebration. And to be honest, I didn't feel anything that was too over celebrated. To be honest,
Hmm.
like okay, Arteta
Hmm.
ran, but I don't think it was like it's like you scored a big
Hmm.
goal in a big match, and I've seen Klopp run, I've seen
Hmm.
Pep do
Hmm.
crazy things, I've seen many managers do many
Hmm.
crazy things when they scored the
Hmm.
winner. I've seen Conte run, I've seen Tuchel run the entire touchline in when they scored the second goal in the 70th minute
Uh,
in a heated match. But
Last season,
yeah,
right?
I've
Yeah. Yeah.
seen those,
Exactly.
and yeah, and no one criticized Tuchel for over
Hmm.
celebrating them. It was like, yeah, it was about
Hmm.
passion, and yeah, it is passion. Like the manager feels the game with his
Hmm.
players, and he felt that moment. And for our Arsenal fans, it's going to be
Hmm.
iconic that
Hmm.
moment. And as the commentator
Hmm.
also said in that game, I don't know in your
Hmm.
coverage, but in our coverage, he said it's iconic images,
Hmm.
and for me, it's iconic
True.
too.
Agreed.
And after the game also, I think Arteta he he had I don't know I didn't know if I saw this correctly, but did he take laps of the pitch? I just saw him go to the center circle and do like
He did. Yeah, he
that
did
fist
that. Yeah.
bumps
Yeah.
to the
He did.
Arsenal fans. I was reading
Hmm.
online, we have manager is doing lap. I didn't see any
Hmm.
laps of
Hmm.
the pitch to be honest. So I that's one. The photograph incident is I don't know what is
I
the mistake
personally don't.
Odegaard has
I
done there.
personally don't know how that went like completely out of context. Like you have a photographer who's
Like
been there at the club before even any of these players that are presently there at Arsenal. He
yeah,
was there before even Arteta
and
was there. He was
and
even there before like even Edu became the managing director. Like a lifelong Arsenal fan who's your photographer who have clicked the most iconic pictures in the Arsenal era, and you just clicking a picture for him in that iconic time in this present Emirates era, how can that go completely out of context? It's just I don't know, it just made no sense for me. It honestly didn't make any sense to me.
I think I don't know if I sent. I think there was an Instagram reel. I think I sent you or I put it on the group or
Hmm.
something. But I think it's just an indication of where football is going
Hmm.
wrong a bit
Hmm.
nowadays. Like if you see this thing happens, even like I think even we were guilty of it. So let's be honest about that. But when Manchester United won a trophy,
Ah,
it was a
yeah,
Carabao
yeah.
Cup, yes, and they won a
Hmm.
trophy. It's a
Hmm.
big thing, and we were like, oh, but it's only Carabao. This is the problem with
Hmm.
football
Hmm.
spaces
Hmm.
nowadays. Every rival achievement or every
Hmm.
rival cup or whatever is you try to
Hmm.
underplay it
Hmm.
somehow.
Hmm.
Like, you got it doesn't matter. It's only Carabao Cup or
Hmm.
whatever. You are going to
Hmm.
Wembley. You played a big club. Okay, Newcastle is not huge, but it's still a
Hmm.
big club, and you won a
Hmm.
trophy. That is deserves
Hmm. Hmm.
celebration. And what is the point of football then if you win a
Hmm.
trophy at Wembley and you're not going to
Hmm.
celebrate, or you win a big game and you're not going to celebrate? This entire like look at the long picture narrative is I don't
Hmm. Hmm.
agree with it. Like sometimes before the shooting this episode, I was going to thought of this analogy, but yeah, I would like
Hmm.
to share it. So imagine you are in college, you pass the first semester, and then your friend comes to you and says, "Oh, but you didn't graduate yet. Why are you
Hmm. Hmm.
celebrating?" It's the same
Hmm.
thing. Like but I passed this
Hmm.
semester.
Hmm.
No, graduation is coming. I will see
Hmm.
what will
Hmm.
happen. But just because I didn't graduate yet, should I not celebrate the first
Hmm.
semester that I passed in the first
Hmm. Hmm.
semester? So, so this long having long sight is good, like
Hmm.
obviously, but sometimes it's good to celebrate your short-term victories. Like yeah,
I kind of agree. See, the
like
perspective that you
so
brought
yeah.
in, right? I was having this discussion with my roommate, Nikhil. You know him, right? So he just like I just asked him like, as an Arsenal fan, I didn't feel the celebration was over the top. It could be I might be blindsided by the bias and all of that. So when I asked him what is your personal opinion from the outside, he said like this celebration is completely agreeable if you accept that, if you accept the way United also celebrated their Carabao Cup. That kind of brought in like, you know what, that kind of made sense. That kind of made sense. Like I mean, he didn't answer my question. Was it over celebration or, and all of that? But he just brought in a new perspective that if that is over celebration,
No,
is this over celebration? So I kind of I got a new perspective. I was like, you know what, kind of made sense. I hate to agree, but it kind of made sense. Like, to be honest.
I said to you that back then
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
that they still
Hmm.
won a trophy at Wembley and they deserve to
Exactly.
celebrate.
I mean,
So
probably
yeah,
the way that they celebrated by bringing Peter Dury and then making like, yeah, the
no,
problem.
that's what I'm saying. I've said it in this last two episodes. Or objectivity
Hmm.
doesn't
Hmm.
exist
Hmm.
in football
Hmm.
fan
Hmm.
circles. Like if it's and it's not just other fans; it's our
Hmm.
fans also. The same fans who would have criticized United if we won the Carabao Cup and celebrated at Wembley, they
Hmm.
would be there with the fans to
Exactly.
celebrate. You need to be
Hmm. Hmm.
objective. So that's why and uh, I know I don't really agree with a lot of his
Hmm.
opinions, but Rory, the Chelsea fan who does his
Hmm.
YouTube videos, had said once in one of his episodes or in one of the football groups
Hmm.
discussions, he has that they asked him if he will take top four over
Hmm.
FA Cup, and he said FA
Hmm.
Cup, and they asked him, they were
Hmm.
all shocked. He's like, it's a trophy at you're winning a trophy and you have a chance to
Hmm.
celebrate, and I always
Hmm.
agree with that. That winning
Hmm.
trophies, and it's always going to be something which is very difficult to do. Ask a club like Spurs, or ask a club like
Hmm.
Aston Villa, or ask a club like Newcastle, who haven't won trophies in
Hmm.
long time. So, and you know, so yeah, I don't feel that having this long-sightedness all the time is good. Should celebrate your short-term wins. I agree with Odegaard. Odegaard summed it up perfectly. We're
Hmm.
humble, we celebrated a great win, and we are looking forward already to the
Hmm.
next game. I think that's all you can do. Like you celebrate the night of the match, and then next day you're back at
Hmm.
it. I don't think that's wrong. There's something wrong with
Hmm.
that. I would say if you're over celebrating, what would be over
Hmm.
celebrating in this situation? We go in the dressing
Hmm.
room and then we
Huh.
celebrate so much, and then they keep putting
Hmm.
out
Hmm.
videos
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
next whole
Hmm.
week that look, we kept winning, we kept winning. That would be
Hmm.
over celebrating. We had good vibes in the dressing room. People were smiling, but there was no like champagne shower over
Exactly.
there in the
Exactly.
dressing room. There was no dancing,
Hmm.
singing. It was just a good vibe that you won a big game.
Hmm.
That's all. It's a bit of saltiness from the uh, more than saltiness. It was more of a deflection
Hmm.
for me. Like Liverpool was historically
Hmm.
bad. It was the worst
Hmm.
performance under
Hmm.
Klopp
Hmm.
for Liverpool against
Hmm.
any club, according to the
Hmm. Hmm.
statistics. Were and they were missing Salah, but okay, Salah is a big miss and Soboslai is a big miss. I agree with all those, but it was more for me a defection tactic by Jamie
Hmm.
Carragher to just kind of you know get off that Liverpool's
Hmm.
back
Hmm.
rather than focus on Arsenal's good performance, focus on something
Hmm.
negative.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I don't have any problems with our
Hmm.
celebration, and I hope we continue celebrating. Like,
Hmm.
come on, there's for me every win you say 3 years ago, if you say to an Arsenal fan, yeah, we are winning 3-1 and we played Liverpool off the
Hmm.
park 4 or
Hmm.
5
Hmm.
years ago, they would take
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
They wouldn't say, they would celebrate that off the bridges or something.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Can you imagine we watch this match together, like in a cafe in Qatar, and like in this coffee shop? My God, we would have. Dude, there was that one Liverpool fan always in that cafe, dude. My God, he was always used to banter me, Richie, and you because we were Arsenal fans, and that guy was like some Liverpool fan. I just like the first thing after we won was like, I wish I was in that cafe to banter that fellow. Like, like yeah, probably I should be mentally sorted out in like thinking I should not keep personal grudges and all of that. He's a nobody to me. He's like personally I have no idea who that guy is, but yeah, I so wanted to go dance on his
You know,
face.
the, I mean, that's the same thing that happens. Like, I don't like Manchester United is our
Hmm.
rival, but there's not that much animosity, like as much like it's not like a derby
Mm-hmm.
or something, but it's sometimes the fans that make you get like growing up. All my friends are Man
Ah,
United fans, most of
exactly.
them, and then I was only Arsenal
Mm-hmm.
fan. I was like to have that moment over them, and we were shit all the time in that
Hmm.
period. Yeah, but now it's like everyone we are like I think we're a bit mature. So even that bantering doesn't have that same level of pettiness. Like if back then when we were younger, like it would have been crazy, honestly. If we go into school with a 3-1 Liverpool
Mm-hmm.
victory, that would have been
Yeah, yeah.
nuts.
I mean, like I take in all the banter, so I guess when I give it back, you got to be accepting of it, or just don't banter. Like the whole point of bantering is like to take it
Yeah,
and give it. Like there's no point in just like giving it when you can't take it, right? I could probably
yeah,
all
yeah,
Virat
true.
Kohli fans are going like, "What the hell have you said?" This is not what Virat Kohli said. But yeah, I was not trying to copy anyone. But yeah, that's our entire match ratings. That is our personal opinions on the unpopular opinions that have been happening on Twitter. Let's go to the more exciting part of this segment. That is our match predictions for the top six for the upcoming game week 24. Salman, do you have something for us?
Uh, bef- Before that, let's see what was our score for the last
Yeah,
match. So
I,
maybe Suchit can add some counter on
I
top. Let's
yeah, yeah.
see. Maybe his editing skills are not up to the mark yet. But
I'm
let's
getting
see.
no help. I'm trying to talk to other graphic designers and other people to help me out. My God, they're quoting me some insane price. I can't. As a person, as a student, I can't afford it. And as a person with just 180, 181 subscribers, I would monetize enough to like buy, get service and all of that. So, don't at me, bro.
Yeah, no, I just kid.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing a good job. But yeah, so let's see. Brentford City was the first game we talked about
Mm-hmm.
last time. Uh, so I guess I'll get the win over there because I predicted a
Huh.
City win. Let's make sure of the
Hmm.
scoring system. Correct result is 1 point and correct scoreline is
Hmm.
another
Hmm.
1 point. So none of us got the
Hmm.
scoreline correct, but I got
Hmm.
the win for
Hmm.
City. Then Man United West Ham. I guess it's 1-1 again because you predicted the
Huh.
win and I predicted a draw, so I'm wrong. You predicted
Hmm.
United
Hmm.
win. Surprisingly, how good they
Yeah.
played. So
True. True.
kudos to United for
True.
that match. They
Hmm.
played
Hmm.
really good. Uh, so I guess next matches. I guess as Arsenal fans, but it's like never trust Spurs because we both went for a Spurs win, and they almost got it, and they let it slip in
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
last minute. So we both get 0 points for
Hmm.
that one. And actually, I guess we both are happy with that
Yeah,
one.
I'm
I
more than
will take
happy.
it.
Yeah.
So the next one, I guess you take a 2-1 lead because you correctly predicted that Chelsea is a mid-table club. uh, so yeah, Chelsea somehow got destroyed by
I
Wolves.
so knew it. Like I
Chelsea somehow got
so
destroyed
knew it.
by Wolves
Like
at home.
they lost to Liverpool. Then who did they win against in the mid game week? Did they play any FA Cup or some Carabao? Did they no?
Before that, they won Middlesbrough. They won
Exactly.
Middlesbrough
Huh? They
Carabao.
won against Middlesbrough and like bro, you are not good. You're shit. You're absolutely crap. Like there is like the definition of crap has been redefined by Chelsea's present team. Like 1 billion you're spending, then you have Enzo reports coming that Enzo is leaving, then you have him celebrate. Proper shit club, proper shit management. Yeah, I knew. I so knew that Wolves are going to win, but yeah, some people just don't listen, I guess. Yeah, you were saying I won. Yeah, do repeat it. It just sounds like music to my ears.
Yeah, so you kind of actually you under predicted like how bad Chelsea would be. So you went only for a Wolves 1-0
Uh,
win, but Wolves absolutely
oh
destroyed
yeah.
them. And I went for a Chelsea win. I hoped Stamford Bridge. They took the
Hmm.
lead. I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to be
Hmm. Hmm.
correct, but
Hmm.
I'm happy
Hmm.
they lost.
Hmm.
No problem. I'll be wrong at times if that's the case. Um, So this one, the last one, I don't know. I'm a, I would say I deserve half a point for this because I predicted Arsenal will score three, but I'm going to stick to
No,
the
yeah, yeah,
scoring
yeah,
system.
exactly.
We both won. We both won. We both won because we both predicted Arsenal would win.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, honestly, honestly, like even though I said 3-2, 1-0 is more of a. If you see the game, it was more of the correct score. Like three goals were lucky. So if you eliminate all the lucky goals, it was a 1-0
True,
win for
true.
Arsenal. So yeah. So I guess it's a
Hmm.
3-2. You are ahead. Yeah.
Don't at me, bro. I'm doing a master's, but still, I should be studying.
I guess I think I guess you're using some forecasting algorithms
Oh,
for
forecasting.
predicting the results.
Please, MNCs, if you're listening to this, are you using forecasting methods to make sure that I'm able to predict the games better? If you guys didn't know that, do reach out to me. Hire me, please. I'm out of job and I'll be out of my masters like soon. I do need a job. So yeah, it's been a great game week for me personally after predicting 3-2. So let's go and predict the game week 24 and see how things go. The first match, you know what? We'll go with Man City versus Everton at Etihad. I'm going. Haaland is back. Alvarez will still play in spite of that. I'll go with a 3-0 City.
Yeah, I guess betting against City's win is going to be
Hmm, hmm.
difficult here. Uh, I think Everton nick a goal. Uh, so I would say
5-1.
and City 3-1, 3-1 to
3-1.
City. I'm going with
3-1.
3-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tottenham versus Brighton at Tottenham. What's your prediction?
We seen guessing a Tottenham win is not going to be great, but I think Son will be back maybe or might be on the bench.
Hmm.
Uh, and
Mitoma's back for this thing,
and
so I guess even.
but we have discussed it last time. Brighton has been out
Hmm,
of
hmm,
form woefully in the league.
hmm.
I'm going 2-1 Spurs. 2-1
Hmm,
Spurs.
hmm,
Spurs will
hmm.
win. I trust them.
2-1 Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. No, sorry, I did that wrong.
I feel 1-1 draw. I feel a draw. I feel a 1-1 draw. Yeah.
Okay.
Liverpool versus Burnley.
Uh, this is Burnley, not a bad team, but I think it's a perfect bounce back game for Liverpool. Uh, if I'm not wrong, it's at Anfield. Yeah. Um, it's at Anfield, right?
Sorry.
It's at
Yeah, it's
Anfield,
at
right?
Anfield. It's at Anfield.
Yeah, perfect bounce back game for Liverpool. 4-0. I think they're going to smash
Four
Burnley.
zero. Okay.
Yeah.
Aston Villa versus United.
You didn't give your prediction for this game.
Liverpool
Yeah.
Burnley 3-0. 3-0. Probably a Darwin Nunez brace. My FPL, please, sir. Please. But yeah, 3-0 Liverpool. Aston Villa was United.
uh, at Villa Park, Villa versus United. It's a good
Hmm.
one actually. I'm quite excited by this game because United, Hoyland is playing good. I think
Hmm.
Maino is
Hmm.
good, and Garnacho is also very good. Um, I'm going for a draw. I feel they will get a draw, to be
Draw.
honest. Or no, actually, let me change my prediction. I think Villa will sneak this one.
2-1.
2-1 to Villa.
Hmm. I was
Yeah,
feeling a 0-0 draw.
yeah. Oh, I don't think those. I think both the team don't have. I'm not saying this in a bad way or something, but I don't think there's enough good defense in that match from both the teams to give me a nil-nil. It can be a draw, but I don't think 0-0 is going to be,
Okay.
especially with
Hmm.
Hoyland being. I think he's really clinical. I really like his
He's a good
finishing.
player. Like
Yeah.
I banter Hoyland because he plays for United, but he's a good player. there's no
Yeah,
creativity or there's not enough service for him to like to get something to like shoot off or like something. So that's why I
yeah.
feel the issue. But I still feel it's going to be a 0-0.
Okay.
Um,
I
Crystal Palace
think
versus Chelsea.
Crystal Palace lost Olise. This is a sad
Mm-hmm.
thing. Really injury
Exactly.
prone. So seems perfect as a Arsenal player
Yeah,
if that's
facts,
the case.
facts.
But uh, um, shall I bet against Chelsea? Or it's a difficult
Hmm.
one. But Palace, I don't just see them scoring a lot
Hmm.
of goals, and I think Chelsea have that edge in terms of
Hmm.
maybe they can
Hmm.
score. I'll go with 2-1 Chelsea. I'll bet on
Yeah,
Chelsea again
same.
that they will
I
win.
feel Chelsea
So
will win against Palace, so it'll be a 1-2 Chelsea.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, the big
yeah.
game. I hope we don't lose three times to these guys in the same season. West Ham versus Arsenal. Declan Rice homecoming. What is it going to be?
Difficult one actually because West Ham away is
Hmm.
not easy and the way they play really
Hmm.
troubles
Hmm.
us.
Hmm.
Uh, No, I honestly, I'm not saying this because of being sensational or something, but I have a bad feeling about this game,
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
be honest. I don't know why. I feel like just that having that euphoria and then going, it's a tricky game to have
Hmm.
after
Hmm.
that game.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, okay, I will give you the prediction a bit detailed. I feel West Ham lead at halftime, 1-0,
Okay.
but I think we get up after halftime, and I think we'll nick it 2-1.
2
Yeah.
1. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I feel West Ham will score
Hmm.
first, and it will cause panic in a lot of Arsenal
Hmm.
fans. Yeah.
I too feel it'll be like that game, like last season, we did play a stretch of like two difficult games. Difficult in terms of like the other teams are like quite imposing on us. Maybe that's why. It was I don't know who we played against. So we played Newcastle away, and before Newcastle away, we played against some other team. We beat them. We were not expected to beat them. Then we went to Newcastle and then beat Newcastle 2-0. I feel is that kind of game against West Ham this season. Like I feel it won't be clean.
I think we,
Hmm?
yeah, that was, I think, I don't, yeah, it was something
Hmm.
like that. We really played good
Hmm.
in that
Hmm.
away
Hmm.
game,
Hmm.
2-0.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel it's going to be like a 1-2 or a 0-1 kind of. It'll be like a very close game, but an Arsenal win for me. You know what? I'll go. I'll go
Mm.
with. What is your prediction, by the way?
I went 2-1 Arsenal comeback win
Okay.
after halftime.
I'll go with a 0-1. I feel it won't be as goal scoring. It won't have those many goals in it. I feel it'll be like a 0-1 kind. Yeah.
Hopefully, we win. Ultimate anticlimax. We win at Liverpool and go and lose to West Ham.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that depends. If West Ham like sit back, again it'll be an issue. If like West Ham come out all guns blazing, I guess we'll have a chance. We don't know. We don't know. But yeah.
Okay.
That's it from us, guys. It's been a great recording again on episode 3. I'll have to do a lot more editing this time as well because, uh, yeah, I've been accused that I've not been editing better. So I will try to do better this time. It's been a great recording. It's been a great game week for Arsenal. I hope this I hope this streak continues for the Arsenal, and like I said, the hunting season begins for the Arsenal right now. Any final words, Salman?
Yeah, as I said in the episode, the hunters hunted are now the
Hmm.
hunters. So can the hunters bring their guns and become the gunners? So let's see. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, on that high note, I don't know if you guys just saw that we just hit 183 subscribers at this very moment. Like I said, on this high note, I would like to thank everyone who have watched all the way till the end. We hope to hit 200 subscribers before the end of February. Um, that's it from my side. Bye.
Bye, guys.